coming in, like you said, two teams that have struggled this year. How tough is it to get off to that kind of start and try and keep the morale up and try and get back into it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was real sloppy getting by us right from the start for sure. But and then I think maybe getting off to a slow start or not a terrible start, and I think we just played really slow. We kept turning pucks back, and they kept coming at us. So it's kind of a bad combination. And then we started to play a little bit faster at times in the second, and I think the start of the third, I think Dickinson's line really kind of show us the way you play right. And when it's bouncing on you and it's bouncing against you, you have to just simplify and slash and support and just advance the puck and just play in the other team's zone. And we just couldn't figure that out quick enough.
How draining has the losing been, especially for the young guys in the locker room?
Yeah, I think it hasn't been bad because, over the last month, I thought we've really competed hard. We've been in most games, 2-1 loss or 2-0 loss with empty net. You can live with when we're playing the right way. We're playing hard. We're really competitive, making it a tough night on the other team, and really close to getting over that hump. But you can't fool the tent with one kind of disappointing loss against a really good team of Colorado, and then just disregard the structure of how we're supposed to play and compete until we can get out of it and get a little bit of puck luck and score some goals. We can't just decide to go our own path, and that's kind of the way it went tonight. So. Maybe you need something like this to unravel where we didn't play well and we lost, instead of losing and playing hard in the right way, to kind of dial it in and bring it back to ground zero, start structure from the bottom up again.
You look at some of the turnovers and some of them just uncharacteristic. It's like hockey's version of the yips going on tonight.
A little bit, yeah. I think just not composed right on even on the power play. We get the puck and we panic and throw it away when they're actually retreating we're throwing it right into that area instead of maybe taking a step and having some composure and feeling and looking and talking with each other. Just not a smart game. Like even on the change on the power play, you're disappointed in the play. So three guys change. They're smart. They take off and they get a 3-on-1. I think Seth actually had to take a penalty on that. So things like that. Like I think we're on 4-on-4. The power their penalty is running out, and we turn the puck over to the blue line in the second period instead of dumping it in. And that now we're on our heels, and we have tired guys out there killing on a fresh power play in the second period. We got away with it, but just wasn't a very smart game.
I think games like this you got to be careful that they don't continue, because guys are sick of losing, and this is how things can go.
Sure, you can be sick of losing, but this is not how you're going to get out of it. So, I think maybe it's good that we're getting on the road. We can simplify. We don't have to press anybody. We can just move pucks ahead and play in the O-zone and try and when we did play our system in the O-zone, we rip pucks out when teams play really low. We actually had some good O-zone time at the end of the second period and the start of the third period, but we just didn't do it consistently for 60 minutes. I think on a team like that, if we would have done that the whole game, we would have found ourselves with way more offensive production and chances and hopeful production, and maybe even drawn a few more penalties.
Did you like what Donato gave to that top line?
I think he was good. I think there's times where Dono, just like everybody else, I think maybe overhandled the puck a couple times, but his try was great and going to the net. Obviously, that's what he does well, and he was rewarded with a goal, which was nice to see. So hopefully that could bring some confidence to him on the score sheet. He kind of missed and whiffed on one in the first period, but I like that he was in the right spot to get the chance. So hopefully this goal can propel him into something.
At the end of the first period, pass over to Korchinski, should he have not changed there, or was it just...
Yeah, he's got to be aware there's only a few seconds left and stay on the ice because they're coming, kind of putting pressure in that zone. Krevia can't, even if he steps on the ice, he can't touch the puck because Korch is still coming off, so it's too many men. So it's good that Krevia get off. Kevin's just got to be aware there, and I think he was disappointed in himself. But that's where, the same as the power play, you can't be disappointed in a play and quit on it and try and come off. The game continues, so you have to continue to keep playing and just be smart about it.
We talk a lot about how the rookies need, kind of hand-holding sometimes, that things are bad. What do you tell a guy like Seth Jones after a game like tonight?
Yeah, back to the drawing board. I think he's played really well for us as of late, and simplify. Like when the game goes support for you. And I think he's just trying to do too much. And I think last year at the end of the year, we tried to dial him back a little bit on worrying about the offense and the numbers and production. I think he's a really good defenseman that can kill plays and cover a lot of ground against really good players that can skate and just add into the offense. You don't have to lead the offense, and I think that maybe gets into his head. And you know, I mean, he started to think of offense before we finish our defensive responsibilities. And you know, I mean, the first play was just a tough one. And again, I think that puck should have been out twice before that happened, but we kept turning it back in the first period, thinking we're going to get something better, and it ended up being something worse.
The hit that Bedard put on Nylander to force a puck free on the first goal, is that the kind of example of him getting more comfortable with the physicality?
Yeah, and smart. Like you know, didn't try and run him over or cross check him harder. He just went through the hands and bumped him off the puck, and then he's there, and you know, he actually made a real nice little tip pass off of that because he's in the play, and he needs to do that all the time. So he you know, he can bump a guy and finish a guy, but then come off first. And that's important when we have the puck, but it's also important if they make the play that the defenseman doesn't jump by him and get up in the offensive rush. So both sides of it. So that was a good example, and he executed that well then.
For Soderblom, was that Olivier go a little bit of a softie?
Yeah, I think so on the short side, but you know, I mean, like it came quick, and I think he kind of whacked it as it was coming, changed the speed, changed the direction just a little bit, and found a hole. Just like everything else going against us tonight, it was just seemed to be destined to win. But again, that was a turnover on the half wall that we got to be aware of. And when we talk about the D's pitching every night, and our wingers got to be ready for it, and we weren't ready for it on that one. So unfortunately, you know, we got to maybe help out Sody just like everybody else out right now to try and alleviate the plays that we're kind of allowing them to have or giving them. We have to make them work extremely harder to get those.
It feels like you have no margin of error. Every little thing that goes wrong ends up in the back of your net. How do you reinforce these guys to, you know, play loose and not get too tight so that they start squeezing the stick too tight?
Yeah, no, I think they have to be intense when we don't have the puck and want it extremely bad and get it back quickly while we still have energy to produce some offense. Otherwise, we wasted chasing around defensively, and I think that's where we have to play intense and hard, and you know, harder stick battles, harder physicality, and moving our feet more, and with the right angle, and then we just have to play simple. Like it doesn't have to be rocket science to create some offense. We just have to play simple, play fast, play behind them. If they have a good gap, we're not stick handling through them. We just put it behind them and go forecheck. Very similar to the goal you just asked about with Connor forechecking. It does work, and it's extremely difficult on defensemen to go back and get the puck. It doesn't have to be a big giant guy coming in to body slam you, but it just pressure with fast skating and strong sticks is a good forecheck. So we have to learn to do that, and we create our own offense by doing that. We don't have to be saucing passes like 85 feet. That's not going to work in this league. So I think we just have to realize, like, simple, dummy it down a little bit, and you know, 101.
We all silly like the mayor.